Okay, hey guys. So we're gonna try something new today. Today I'm working on my issues of anger and my desire to quit my job, but I'm afraid to. So this is actually just gonna be doing Theta Healing, and I'm showing it in actually in double the speed. But it's like I'm kind of showing my entire process, which I don't think Theta healers or licensed practitioners or psychologists have really shown like what they do behind the scenes. So basically, it's kind of like behind the scenes of what a therapy session is like. So basically, I wrote down those two things, and I'm starting on my first one. I'm saying anger. Basically, recently I've been mad at everyone, and one of the first questions I ask is, you're mad at everyone, and obviously I don't want to be. How does this serve you? And then I write that it gives me power, and it gives me the ability to express myself so people will listen. So basically, it's kind of tricky because I take something that's usually negative and I find out what is subconsciously positive about it, because there must be some sort of purpose, which is why I'm doing it. So then I picked out these two examples: basketball, sports. Like when I'm angry at basketball, it gives me more power and more strength and more conviction. So I'm like, oh, okay. So anger does have a purpose, and like when I'm doing that, I'm more brave and more courageous to go for the ball and stand up for myself. Okay. And in general, like war or sports, this is pretty common. So I'm like, okay, yeah. And then another thing is the ability to express myself. Recently I got in a fight with my mom, and she wasn't listening. And then I got angry, and that was the only way she could listen. It was so crazy. It was to the point where I was angry and I was yelling, and then my entire body went numb and I was paralyzed. So it was really scary. Definitely, it was like I almost died. And then like when I was paralyzed, then she calmed down and she freaked out because she was like, "Wow, like it's almost like you had a stroke or something." But it was like, okay, anger gets me attention. I realized that death, sickness. Those are my own natural associations. They may not be your associations, but in my subconscious, though, that's what I found. Notice how I'm doing like the arrow, like this. What does that mean? And I dig a little deeper, and that's what this means. I dig a little deeper. Okay, and then now I'm writing beliefs. Okay, so I think I have a subconscious belief. I need to be angry to have power and courage. Fear. Sometimes I need some fear. Yellow. Yeah, I see that. So I'm just kind of going with my gut and writing this kind of stuff down. I need to be angry so people will listen to me. Okay. So I mean, after I kind of do the digging, which is what I did on the top part, then I go down and I write out like, what's the conclusion? What is in my subconscious mind? And once I figure out what is in my subconscious mind, then I can kind of release it and find a positive alternative. So yeah, just in case you're wondering, right now I'm using Photoshop, and this allows me to, usually I just do this kind of stuff on paper, but when I'm doing it in Photoshop, I'm able to show you guys. Okay, so now it says, why do you have to release this belief? Okay, so I have these old beliefs, and obviously I want to release them, and then I'm kind of like finding my motivations. I'm digging again, and I wrote anger and fear is bad for health, and people don't like you, and people are afraid of you, angry. No friends. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And I circled that because it resonated with me deeply on a gut, because I have quite a lot of trouble with making friends and keeping them. So now I'm kind of like thinking, I'm taking my time. This kind of stuff does take a while. And then I dug a little deeper. I asked myself the question, how does this serve you? Having no friends. So it's like I go a layer and then I go another layer. And then I think when I don't have any friends, I have more focus and I have more time for myself. and I can make more accomplishments, and I can do more work. And that's kind of like the patterns of my own life. And basically when I'm doing this, I'm just trying to find out what are the patterns that I'm living, and then I give myself the choice of whether or not I want to change these patterns. Okay, so then I wrote down isolation usually leads to more achievements, and then I feel that it gives me love and acceptance, which is kind of contradictory, because it's like in order to not have friends, you have these achievements and the social status, so people will love and accept you, so you will have friends. Which is funny because you could just have friends from the start. And let me see, anger, how does it serve you? And I wrote down fear and respect. Oh, fear equals respect. So when people are afraid of you, they will respect you. So that's another subconscious belief I have. This is pretty cool, huh? Because when the psychologist office are writing stuff, they cannot share any of their patient information, and you don't know what the heck they're writing, But here you can kind of see like what exactly is going on. So I did take a Theta Healing class, which was like a couple $100 over a course of, I think it was 3 or 4 days. So this is just like pretty basic stuff. And then what? Okay, so basically I circled more accomplishments and love and acceptance and isolation. I felt those were like the things that stuck out to me the most, And then I'm writing down what I want to change my beliefs into. Okay, that's kind of small. But Photoshop is kind of cool because you can kind of zoom out and then zoom back in. So you can kind of see the bigger picture. I wrote down, okay, just be patient. I think I'm writing stuff about my friends. Okay, I wrote down, I can have friends while balancing time for me to be alone so I can refocus my energy and concentrate. I can have friends while being able to produce brilliant work and be very accomplished. And then I'm kind of like, fiddling around with these. Because I realized that, yes, I still want to be very accomplished, but I also want love and acceptance too, and I also want friends. And right now it kind of seems like it's an either or situation, and I'm trying to make it into a win-win situation. I can have respect and people will listen to me while I'm nice. So that's pretty interesting too, because sometimes I think you have to be scary in order for people to respect you. So I guess this is the first time I was doing this. I was fiddling around with the workflow, and now I decided I should write my old beliefs before I write my new beliefs. It flows better and it makes more sense, I feel. I think these will become bigger soon. So basically, I'm looking at the bigger picture, and this does, I guess, take more experience, where I'm writing this kind of stuff down. I wish I can zoom in. Okay. Yeah, just hold on. Okay, fear is respect. I need to be alone to produce. Great work. I have to be better than everyone else to produce great work. I'm reading my old beliefs. Producing great work is the only meaning of life. Your life's value is based on the work you produce. You can only be loved and accepted if you produce great work. People will listen to you if they respect you and fear you. And that is my old beliefs. Basically, I copied that over and I'm writing the direct opposite. So, on the right hand side, I wrote people respect me. Respect can come from love, kindness, and compassion, and it's kind of like changing my subconscious mind and introducing me that there could be another way of looking at this. I can produce great work in the company of others while balancing a social life with others. So instead of thinking that I have to be in isolation. I can have friends and produce great work at the same time. I can produce work while working alongside my peers, would be really cool. I can produce great work without feeling the need to beat everyone else, So it's kind of like you thinking you have to be the best and you have to beat everyone. It's not a one person takes all situation, and this is basically creating beliefs and a reality, like a vision, where it's a win-win situation for you. Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys think this is cool. I think it's pretty. I was thinking like by just reviewing it myself, I can probably, it's like reading a book a second time. I understand my life's true value is unconditional love. Definition of creators. Creator is kind of like Theta Healing. That's how we say God. It's more like a general concept. It can be Buddha, it can be Allah, it can be God, it's just the creator of the universe or your belief. I understand how to be loved and accepted unconditionally. That's pretty good instead of out of fear. Even if I wanted to, I could still have strength, courage, and ability to produce great work and do great things. I have the ability to command respect from others without feeling like there is a lack of love and acceptance in my life because I already have it. Okay. Now, when I say command, it might be kind of bad. Command, not demand. Command is like you do have respect, and yeah, hopefully I respect other people too. I'm surrounded by people who love to listen to your opinions and voice. What I say is interesting. What they say is interesting too. So I think I cropped into my screen, but I can see the other side, I think, when I was typing. I respect the opinions of others without feeling the need to debate or be intimidated. Inner strength is strong. Oh, I think I'm just going for my gut here. After I do it, I kind of just go from my gut, and I just feel out what I need. And again, this kind of takes intuition and experience. I am guided by my inner voice. Yeah, see? So yeah, those are my old beliefs. And what I'm doing right now, well, you don't see, but I released all my old beliefs to love and light. And then I download my new beliefs on all 4 levels. I go into 7, which is the Theta Healing thing. And I download these on 4 levels. I forgot what they were. It was core, soul level, karmic, history, something. There's like these, I just say 4 levels. And you're supposed to resolve them on 1 level, which is the history. It gets kind of technical. But I think I know what's going on. If you're a Theta Healer, you know. It's okay. But yeah, this is where I just kind of like, I command like God or Creator to release the old ones, and then I have the new one just magically downloaded into my body. So yeah, it gets really spiritual here. But yeah, I'd rather have magic than not have it. Well, it's just magic. Okay. Yes. Do you guys have any questions? Feel free to leave them below. Yeah, you can look up what Theta Healing is. But yeah, and let me see what alternatives. If you don't do Theta Healing, like what you could also do, but that might be just as good or slower, you can print out your new beliefs, and I tack them on my wall, as you can see behind me, how it says. There's paper, I printed them out, and you could read them every day, use them as affirmations. You could record yourself saying them. Oh, look at my screen. Okay. Oh, and then another thing I did was I tested myself. I'd go back to my old beliefs and say, does this stuff still ring true to me? And sometimes you let everything go, and sometimes you don't. And I realized I didn't let everything go, and I was trying to find out what. And I typed in a little bit more. Okay, so I'm done with this section. Now I'm going to go to the section where I say I quit my job. I don't think anyone has done this before, so yeah, cut me some slack. It's like the first time. Alright, quitting my job. What is the worst thing that could happen? Okay, so I'm afraid of quitting my job even though I want to. And then I'm gonna write down what are like the best things that can happen if I do quit my job. This is pretty interesting. I'm kind of like freestyling on the fly here. What is the best thing that could happen? So basically, I'm having just the job I'm at is no longer sparking joy. I no longer feel very happy there. Even though I am learning a lot, it's a lot of really cool work, and the company is quickly growing with a lot of new projects, and we're moving into a new office. At the same time, I don't look forward to going into work, which is, very alarming because I work in theme parks and it's like a freaking cool job, and I'm an illustrator, and it's already like, how do you not like this job? But I can't let reason stop my gut. My heart is telling me, So, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I wrote down, I miss out on a lot of learning. My coworkers get a lot better than me because they get so much experience. My company is becoming super successful and lots of fun projects. So my company recently picked up a lot of cool projects for the company I worked at. And there's another one. It's like the company tanks and it's my fault. I guess it's kind of like more of an arrogant thing where I maybe think that if I leave the company, they won't be able to survive without me, which they perfectly will. Art center. So basically, when I went off to college, right, I went so I realized this kind of stuff, it happened before in my life. So I'm pinpointing these beliefs to a story. So basically, the story is art center. I could have went to an art school, but I chose to go to university instead. And a lot of times I regret because if I went to art school, I probably could have gotten a job straight out of college. By going to a university, this is really funny. You can't because everything's so generalized, and the education isn't, it's not meant to get you a job. It's just meant for people who don't know what major they should get. At least for artists and designers, okay? If you're like an engineer, it's different. But for artists, went to college versus art school, felt inadequate, something. Oh, my friends, they got all these crazy jobs. I saw my friends who were really successful, who were my classmates when I was taking classes at Art Center. They got jobs that they designed Transformers for the movie, and huge movie concept, super successful. And I was like, dude, I could have been that. And I was kind of jealous, anger, regret. Those were my emotions. Ugh, thirsty. My other story was I was doing this extracurricular activity in college called Booth, and I wanted to take a break, which was cool because I had my first girlfriend at the time because I wasn't so obsessed with work and had more time to date. And basically by taking a break from this club, it was this Asian club, I kind of felt like an outcast and not a part of a team because I wasn't there as much. On the other hand, I felt more relaxed, but I didn't feel as much growth. I wasn't really fulfilled because I wasn't growing. I was just resting at that time. Okay, what's happening? I don't know. Oh, I'm out now. Now this part, I was just kind of feeling it out, or I went to the bathroom. No. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I think I am so important. Okay, what's going on? But I realize not that essential. They could do it without me. Oh, I'm so smart. No longer important, no longer relevant, no respect. purpose. No purpose. Huh. Okay. So at this time part, I didn't really know where I was going with this, but I did it. And I think what's gonna happen next is, what's going on? Okay, I think I took a break here again. Okay. Oh, my boss. Okay, now I kind of zoomed out of the picture, and I started going back into, okay. Now I'll start to talk about my boss again. Entitled brat. So I think I talk about pay now. Oh, I'm afraid that if I quit, my boss will blacklist me and I can never work again, which is, feasible, I guess. But of course, that's one of my fears, and I wanted to explore it. So, if that happens, so basically, what is the worst thing that can happen if you can't work again? You'll lose momentum. Kind of like when I stopped doing like cross country or running, you need the momentum. And I don't want to work anymore. Yeah, I'm afraid of not working, and I'm afraid of missing out. Oh, I felt like I was getting paid a lot, but apparently this is pretty average for this industry. It's 400 a day, so I get 4,800 a month, but I'm only working 3 out of 5 days a week. So, I know it's consistent too. Okay. So I was like, oh man, I might never get paid that much again, and that's what I was thinking. So yeah, I think Tim Ferriss talks about like some kind of like fear setting and stuff too. So this is really definitely vulnerable. I'm like literally showing you what I did during the time that I was digging through this situation. Okay, what is the best thing that could happen? So the reason why I want to take a break is because I want to relax, I want to, just do some personal work with my artwork, kind of like sabbatical. The best thing that could happen, I can get super good, like I've had all this in-field experience, maybe some personal time and maybe after I do this, I can find my passion for life. I can make even more money with less effort than before. I can have a fun, healthy work environment. I can maybe have even better coworkers at a company with great food, exercise, workout, massage, great projects, status, learning experience, lots of strong, interesting purpose. So I'm writing like what is like the upside, So yeah, I'm thinking about like a perfect arrangement, how things could become even better than before. Something I didn't talk about was I was afraid of being a quitter, because I quit a lot of stuff, like my name painting stuff, but it's only after I feel like, okay, I should say no, I should move on. But sometimes I always wonder, what if I just kept on going, Like I quit my Disneyland job while I was a name painter and caricature artist. Like I like to go 80%, I don't take it to 100%, and then I just move on to the next thing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something that's another issue I'll work on. Oh yeah. So the real reason why I want to take off, and probably what I'll tell my boss, is that I want to go to Europe, and I want to go backpacking through Europe, and I guess one of the most best things that can happen, maybe I meet a beautiful, romantic, sexy girlfriend, and then Europe, right? So obviously we'd have lots of passionate sex because she's European. I'm just kidding. I don't know, but that would be cool though, right? 'Cause come on, it's like Europe, and I'm American, so I don't know. New educational experiences. Yeah, educational experiences. let's see. Yeah, so when you're making a decision, you could try doing something like this, and it doesn't have to be on a computer. It can just be on pen and paper. As you can see, I'm just doing pen and paper, and you can even just use Microsoft Word to complement it when you want to type some stuff out. But pen and paper is definitely good. Making these two lists, and I keep on asking myself, what does this mean? What is the worst thing that can happen? What is the best thing that can happen? How did this make you feel? And sometimes you go into stories like, what is the first time you felt that emotion? So these are different different questions I ask myself. And you can try this yourself. Would anyone be interested in doing these kind of sessions with me? I think it'd be interesting to do it via like Skype or something, because you can like screen share. I've never done it before. But yeah, maybe this could be like a business thing I do on the side. I know I tend to be a lot more methodical and analytical than the other traditional data healers. I mean, I'm using the computer. That's pretty cool, right? And you get like concrete things. Okay, so now it's my second time doing this. So those are I'm gonna do old beliefs and new beliefs. This is pretty good. I like this. I was really proud. I'm afraid of leaving my job because, and basically I just summarize things into just beliefs. My boss will hate me. My coworkers will get better than me. I will never have a better job in terms of pay, flexibility. Coworkers, again. Which doesn't really make sense, because I'm probably gonna have better jobs eventually, but I'm just afraid. It's just something I'm writing out though. I'll miss out on an interesting company and creative, interesting projects. I was afraid of missing out. I will not be accepted by my old friends. I will regret it and be sad. Okay, and then I copied it over. And then I'm like, if I do choose to leave my job, and then basically I'm going to, whatever, instead of my boss hating me, my boss will respect my decision, So basically, I'm just writing the opposite of everything. And the thing is, with these kind of affirmations, you can't use the word not. You have to just write the opposite. Instead of saying, my boss will not like me, or, you have to say, my boss will respect my decision to go backpacking through Europe, Instead of saying, my coworkers will get better than me, don't say, like, my coworkers will suck. That sucks. But if you say, I will experience professional growth 1,000%, then it's like, wow, And instead of saying, I'll never have a job again, you'll say, I'll have even better and best opportunities in terms of pay, more flexibility, even more fun, compatible, interesting, accomplished coworkers. And I'll continue to work for interesting companies and creative, interesting projects, exclamation marks, bam, exclamation marks. And my old coworkers, they'll still be my friends, from my old company. We share the experience. And instead of we are on great terms and respect each other. I'll live my decision and embrace it. Okay. So, yeah, I felt really good about that, you know? And yeah, I definitely felt really good about that. And I added a couple more zeros because I'm assuming everything here will become true, you know? And 1,000% is good, but 100,000%, that might be better, you know? Like it's free. It's like it's a prayer, it's a wish, you know? And I'm gonna assume that this stuff comes true, so why not add a couple extra zeros? I mean, it'll be enough. It'll be enough. Um, it's, I mean, if I do go to Europe or whatever, it's really feasible. You know, I have no idea what I'll learn or experience there. It might take my career or life in a completely different direction. I don't know. But that's the plan. Oh, and then I thought about it, I felt it, you know, and then I'm like, okay, I will embrace my best and brightest future for highest and best good. So in Theta Healing, this whole culture, highest and best good, or I forgot what was the term. We love to use that. Highest and greatest good or something like that. We don't need to know what is going to happen. It's just, we just know that the best will happen, the best for us, you know, the highest, yeah. And then now what I'm doing is I think I'm releasing the old beliefs and then I'm assimilating and downloading the new beliefs. And I do this by, you know, you can make a prayer like, I wish that all the old beliefs leave me and be sent to heaven, love and light, you know. Oh, I added some exercise and stuff for my new beliefs. And for the new beliefs, you know, after you read all of them, then you pray, you make a prayer saying like, oh, I wish that I command that these beliefs be downloaded to me on all four spiritual levels. And yeah, and stuff. Oh, old beliefs needs to be resolved on the history level. It's a technicality thing. You know, there are rules in Theta Healing. I wonder if there's any Theta Healers watching this. This would be funny. Yeah, I'm just trying to have fun here. Just trying to have fun. I wonder if it'll pop up in SEO for Theta Healing. I wonder if this is how other people do it. Most Theta Healers, they just do it all in their heads and like they can see the future and the past and like whatever, and it's I think I'm a little bit more logical. I could do that future stuff, it's just hard to show on Photoshop. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. I think it was pretty cool. What else was I going to say? Yeah. Okay, there's one more thing. That night, when I was doing this, I realized that it wasn't completely solid, and then so I did something else, and I'm gonna show you that right now. Okay, so yesterday after I did the Theta Healing thing, I still felt like a little fear of quitting my job, right? And then I was like, you know, I kind of feel a little bit of a still feeling of missing out. So I decided to look at it a little bit more, all right? So here's some of the same thing I did, but I did it in my notebook, all right? I'm going to show you guys. We're going to start from this missing out thing, and from that, I felt worry and anxiety. You know, that's what it felt. And worry and anxiety, I feel like it helps make better decisions, you know, that's what I felt like it led to. And from making better decisions, it made me like consider all the options. Because, you know, for the job, I was thinking about like, you know, what if I stayed there? What if I did this? What if I stayed there for another 2 months? You know, I'm thinking about all the stuff. And then I guess how it serves me is I would become more slow and deliberate. And like this stuff is pretty solid, you know, it makes sense. So I tried to distill it down into a belief. And I was like, I make the best decisions when I'm worried and anxious. Because I'm going back to this whole worry anxiety thing. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of true, you know, but I don't want to be worried and anxious just to make a good decision, you know. So I decided to write the opposite of that. And that was, I make my best decisions based on trust, you know, instead of, you know, rational decision making, love, divine guidance, my greatest purpose. So that's pretty interesting. And yeah, and then after that, I wrote down, what are my goals? Focus on bigger picture, you know. And as I was thinking that, I was like, okay, divine guidance sounds good, you know, but like, what is that? And then like, greatest purpose sounds good, but what is that? And then all I did was I looked up from my nightstand and I saw my goals. Right, I have my goals on my wall, and I realized my November goals are here. And my artwork for theme parks is as good as Chris Turner and Greg Pro. I draw and paint stuff that I like for fun. I allow myself to have a happy, healthy sex life. I allow others to be loved, appreciated, respected, valued, heard, understood, important, and cherished. Okay? So basically there, it doesn't really say anything about my career. You know? Actually, for my 4-year plan, it doesn't have any, because I'm always working on my career. I had a 4-year plan, and I kind of talked about me spending more time with family and friends, being more relaxed, having more fun, you know. And that's like if I were to look at my bigger picture, I remember that, hey, this isn't about your career. It's not about money. I mean, it could be if that's your goal, but for me, I set my long-term goal to be a more well-rounded person. So I realized like, hey, it makes sense if I were to look at my 1-year plan, my 4-year plan. It's not for me to stay at this job. It's for me to take a break and you know, have fun and explore the world. So yeah, that's how I got to. That's what I did. I still feel a little fear, possibly from people thinking I'm lazy. You know, worrying about what other people think. So it's not completely 100% done yet. But yeah, I'm getting there. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have questions. Oh, one last thing. So what Project Life Coach is about, I think Project Life Coach is not so much about me being a guru. Guru means you have all the answers. And it's more of a self-help, personal development practitioner. So instead of me being a teacher, I'm more like a student who is sharing my homework with you, sharing what I'm doing. So I'm not just, you know, talking. I want to show you what I'm doing, and you know, and it's not always pretty. It's not always sexy. It's not always, oh wow, this stuff so well. It's really well presented. I want to show you guys raw and candid, and you know, I think that'll help a lot of people.